Hulk versus the Skar King. Two brutal and powerful monsters going at it. But who wins? Well, let's get to it. What's up, guys? This is DanCo. I do fight breakdowns, power ranking videos, or more deep dives into your favorite characters and franchises, with new videos every week. So if that seems great to you, well, sit back and enjoy the video. Hit that like button if you want to, or hit the subscribe button while you're at it. There's the Skar King. The Skar King is a sadistic, tyrannical, and brutal titan who rules over a clan of other monkey titans with an iron fist and is personally responsible for the deaths of countless around him. No longer satisfied with just ruling over simply the hollow earth, though, he decided to strike out against the surface world, using his loyal servant and minion Shimu, the first titan, in order to unleash destruction upon the earth. Skar King is incredibly intelligent and ruthless. He's pretty much just as smart as a person, and regularly uses intellect whenever he finds himself in a fight. He's incredibly fast and agile, routinely dodging attacks and jumping and evading around. He's got the perfect weapon to combine with his speed and agility, the Whip Slash. Made from the spine of a gigantic titan, the Whip Slash is a whip that's able to seriously cut and damage enemies, as well as lasso objects and throw them around. He's evil and a menace, the most sadistic villain that we've seen in the Monsterverse. He's a tyrant and not at all afraid to kill anyone in his way, or even throw some hands himself if he needs to. But then there's the Hulk, and here's the thing about the Hulk. He really has no right to fight against some of the monsters in the Monsterverse. At least not the big ones, the true alpha titans. Talking like Kong, King Ghidorah, especially not Godzilla. The Monsterverse is almost in a class of its own for live action fights. These monsters are seriously powerful. But the Skar King is different. He wasn't a straight up powerhouse, but a dictator that ruled through intimidation and fear. And that means he was kind of weak enough that it makes for an interesting fight. And now in this fight, even fighting against a giant monster like Skar King, well, Hulk is still crazy strong. That's kinda his whole thing. He's stronger than Thor, even if Thor doesn't really want to admit it. It takes two hands for Thor to just catch one of Hulk's punches, and he can't say the same in reverse. Hulk was regularly sending Thor flying all around, smashing up him and his brother. So yeah, Hulk might not be the most popular guy in the Odinson household. And Thor wasn't the only guy that Hulk is sent flying. I mean, just ask Ultron how hard Hulk can hit. Just ask Abomination what it's like to tangle with the Hulk. I mean, just look at the way Hulk completely decked a big old giant Leviathan. He did that with just one punch. And the thing is, it's actually pretty consistent for Hulk to do stuff like this. I mean, just ask Surtur. Just look how he's messing around with other Leviathans in the same fight. Hulk is also crazy tough too. He's taken attacks from Thor. He's taken tons of attacks from Abomination, took a ton of attacks from the Hulkbuster, acted like none of them really even bothered him that much. Dazed him a little bit, sure, but nowhere close to actually putting him down. I mean, even these attacks from Thor, when he was tapping into his true godhood, like straight up divine power, Hulk was back at it. Hulk technically knocked Thor out in that fight. He fell from like miles up in the air and crash landed. He was rammed through like 50 floors, had a skyscraper crash down on top of him. Yeah, I don't think I'm exaggerating here when I say Hulk is really durable. It's gonna be really hard to injure him. Now, there are a few things to consider here. Mostly, is Hulk strong enough to damage Skar King? Or you can flip it and ask, is Skar King weak enough to be hurt by the Hulk? And for that, you gotta take a look at the two instances Hulk has of fighting gigantic monsters. Surtur and the Chitauri Leviathan. And neither of these are small feats. The Chitauri Leviathan are 100 feet bigger than Skar King. They're pretty tough themselves. And yet Hulk was able to absolutely fold one with just one hit. I know it kinda gets forgotten just because time has passed, but this is no small feat. It's crazy impressive. Then Hulk's encounter with Surtur is actually pretty consistent with this same level of power. Surtur stood up over 4,000 feet at this point, so 12 Skar Kings stacked on top of each other. And while Hulk's punches weren't able to do as much damage this time around, it still nearly knocked Surtur all the way over. I think Hulk is going to be able to hurt Skar King with some of these hits. Hulk is just that strong. I also think Skar King is kinda just that weak. Like, I wouldn't believe that Hulk can do much damage against the likes of Godzilla or even Kong, just because these two titans have shown they're tougher than tough and have taken more powerful attacks than Hulk can dish out. We're talking about monsters that can easily brush off nuclear bombs. You can't really say that about Skar King. Every attack was hurting him, everything was sending him flying, and he ended up getting bodied when he finally lost control of Shimo. Skar King's greatest advantage in fights against other monsters was his speed and agility. He really relied on dodging attacks because he didn't have the durability to actually take attacks. It's kinda hard to be faster or more agile when your opponent is relatively the size of a gnat, but he can land attacks just as powerful as your own. I might be a bit off, I'll admit that, but I think this fight is kinda like if the Leviathan was just a giant monkey instead of a giant space whale, or if Surtur was way smaller and couldn't do anything to the Hulk. Hulk has the power to put Skar King down. I really believe that, and I don't think Skar King is a powerful enough fighter to stop that. The Hulk wins. But what do y'all think? Sound off in the comments down below. I know you're gonna have thoughts and feelings on this one for sure. If you stuck around this long and made it to the end of the video, that's amazing. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting us. And if you want to go subscribe, well, go subscribe. You're going to see more videos like this one every single week. I'll see y'all then. I'll see y'all next time.